This is CNC World, a new perspective.
It was a grueling swim, battling high currents, leg cramps, and cold temperatures. It was a test of not only strength and endurance, but also a mental battle. But after nearly 27 hours in the water, a 14-year-old set a new record Sunday evening.
Annaleise Carr officially became the youngest person to cross Lake Ontario, one of the Great Lakes in North America, when she reached the finish line in the Canadian city of Toronto. When Carr touched the walls of the finish line, she was greeted by 400 friends, family, and supporters who had been out all day looking into the lake and waiting for her to arrive. The ambitious feat was a year in the making. Aside from making the history books, it was for a good cause. Carr decided to take on the challenge a year ago to raise 30,000 Canadian dollars for Camp Trillium, a summer camp for children with cancer. When one of her coaches, Phil Ogden, first heard of her plan, he was worried. But the concern soon gave way. After lots of training and consulting with her coaches and doctor, she was deemed both physically and mentally prepared for the long-distance swim. Carr officially set off on her swim on Saturday evening when water temperatures were recorded at around 22 degrees Celsius at 6:15 p.m. She began her journey from the shores of a Canadian town called Niagara-on-the-Lake, located in southern Ontario. But the biggest concern really wasn't whether she could swim this distance. According to the coach, the question was whether she could maintain her body temperature for that amount of time in the cold water. And the team did a lot to make sure that the swimmer ate enough and drank enough liquids. Escorted by 7 boats and a total of 23 people, she never got out of the water, took breaks periodically, and was fed water and food by a tether rope. There were several setbacks according to Ogden, who said Carr had faced high winds and currents out on the lake. And there were moments when they weren't sure if she was going to pull through. Ogden said people escorting her on the swim encouraged Carr by telling her how much they've already raised in donations. By the end of her swim, she had exceeded her goal of 30,000 Canadian dollars and raised more than $90,000. When she arrived at the finish line the following day at 8:55 p.m., Carr was exhausted but managed to wave to the crowds. She was first checked out by a doctor on site, but was later whisked away to the hospital for a more thorough checkup.
This is CNC World, a new perspective.